Hi everybody, this is attorney Andrew Flushy, and today we're going to go back to doing some Reddit reaction videos. Let's see what kind of legal advice the Redditors gave and see how we can improve upon that. Weird question at a traffic stop. What should I have said? Got stopped by a state trooper in Texas. My home state, God bless Texas. I was recently pulled over and asked to step out of the vehicle. My girlfriend was in the passenger seat. Once I was out of the car, the trooper asked me, if I were to find anything illegal in the car, would it belong to you or her? I wasn't worried because I knew there was nothing in the car. So naturally, I replied, there is nothing illegal in the car. He said that wasn't his question and repeated it. After a few seconds of confusion, I said, mine, I guess. Oh my goodness. Nothing happened. I got a speeding ticket and no search. But I kept wondering if my answer could have screwed me if he decided to search. Anyone else get asked this? What should someone say? All right, Mr. Milk and Cookies. Milk and Crookies. I guess he's a crook. I don't know. Mr. Milk and Crookies, who asked this question, got it all wrong. He definitely answered in a very wrong way. To admit that if there's anything illegal in the car, it would be mine, you have no idea what your passenger has in the car. A judge friend of mine gave this analogy. What if you were going through a fast food restaurant and you get some French fries? You're eating some French fries in the car, and some French fries fall down between the seats. And you have no idea those fries are there. You thought you picked them all up, but there's still one left. Think about marijuana in that way. Maybe you had a friend in your car a few weeks ago or a few months ago. You told him, get that stuff out of my car. Maybe he even threw it out of the window. But maybe some marijuana fell between the seats and you didn't know it was there. If they go and do that search and find a little bud of marijuana between the seats, you've just admitted that that illegal substance must be yours. Yes, you did it wrong and you walked right into his trap. The police officers use questions like this to trap us. Thankfully, in this case, it didn't hurt you. But in many cases, it would. Let's see what kind of advice Reddit gave. What the hell sort of question is that? Your first answer was correct. You don't deal in hypotheticals and you don't predict the future. If he wants his fortune told, he can go to the fair. I love it. That is a really good response. It's frankly, there's nothing illegal in the car. An even better response to BS police questions like that is, I invoke the Fifth Amendment. That's the best response to this line of questioning. Let's move on to the next Reddit story from r/legal advice. An off-duty police officer found my information using my license plate, then proceeded to hunt me down on Facebook. This is illegal, right? I would say so. So I work for the city assessor taking photographs of homes strictly for property records. To preface this situation, the homeowners received a letter in the mail mid-October stating that someone will be on your property taking 2 photographs of the exterior of the house. They will knock or ring the doorbell first, and if there is no answer, then proceed to take the photographs. If the homeowner had any problems, they would call. Seems fair, seems pretty reasonable. Although I wouldn't be a fan of any assessor coming by taking pictures of my house, I can tell you that. Anyways, that leads us today when I received a message through Facebook from a stranger asking, quote, is there any reason you would be walking around taking pictures of homes? Immediately I was shocked and also concerned because I had no idea who this was and how they found my name. I told them I work for the city and gave them a number to call if they had any issues. Also stating I am uncomfortable with them reaching out to me in this way and that they should have contacted the authorities first before hunting me down on Facebook. I am guessing a neighbor got my license plate and told them that I was there taking photographs of their house. Anyways, I did some digging and found out that they were a police officer for a district near where I live. I told my friends about this and one of them told me that this is very illegal. Is this correct? Also, what should I do about this? To me, the way they reached out is very intimidating and unprofessional and really not okay. Well, Mr. Slump by God, the best advice here is that yes, it is illegal for a police officer to be using their special databases and tools for some kind of personal reason. However, the subtlety here is that it may not really be considered a personal reason. It could be that if someone called the police station or the sheriff's office saying, hey, we got a suspicious person out here taking pictures of houses, they might run the tag and say, oh, that tag comes back to so-and-so. Do you know that person? My qualified response here would be that yes, it's illegal for the police to just be running plates for personal reasons, but this may not have been considered a personal reason depending on how the information was called in and who exactly ran the information. Let's see what Reddit says. So we have Wingen in Vegas, I don't know, former police officer. Since this was the officer's private home and this was not police business, he was not legally allowed to run your plates and contact you. Serious violation of the rules. I tend to agree with that analysis, but the big qualification is, who contacted who, was this person reported to the police in the first place, and the police did their own investigation to see what was going on. If this was just a personal grudge, a personal vendetta sort of thing, that would definitely be a violation of the rules. I agree with Mr. Former Police Officer. Woody's Wood Ducks, who says, I used to dispatch 911, and I agree with this. Police departments have a huge amount of information available to them, and there are very strict rules about what they can search. This is absolutely not okay. I would contact the county prosecutor's office. Funny enough, a former Virginia State Trooper friend of mine who actually manages what we call the VSIN database, where prosecutors and police officers can look up their criminal records here in Virginia. And that's one of the things he does now is he audits people's use of those databases. They're pretty strictly controlled because they are very sensitive information. Now here's an interesting take. Mr. X5060 says, while the search itself was probably not appropriate, him establishing contact through Facebook is a huge issue. That is not how police business is conducted. I would screenshot the messages and go have a talk with your director about how unprofessional this is, then both of you go have a conversation with the chief of police for that officer. I kind of disagree with this opinion. The search itself we've already talked about, but the contacting through Facebook, police officers use Facebook too. And there's no reason that they can't, if they have a suspect and there's some issue going on, that actual legitimate investigation, they can certainly reach out through Facebook and say, hey, I need to talk to you, or, ask questions. I don't see anything illegal or unreasonable really with a Facebook message. Now that gives you a good tip of, hey, I may not want to reply to this message, or I may want to just say, just ignore it, block it. For more advice on how to deal with the police, check out my next video on police small talk. I'll see you over there. And be sure to subscribe for a new video every Tuesday. I'll see you next week.